Humairah Adamu Sidi. I'll be taking you all today on network security, that is, guarding your digital devices. So, some of us here might be newbies, so we might not really know the concept of what network security is. So, what is network security? Network security refers to the set of measures and practices designed to protect computer networks, devices, and data from unauthorized access. And what do we mean by unauthorized access here? Getting access to something that you are not given the authority to access. So we are guarding our devices from unauthorized access, attacks, and damage. The primary goal of network security is to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information within a network. And this confidentiality, integrity, and availability are the main goal of achieving a secure cybersecurity network. So, how to secure your network without interception? We have various processes of securing our network without having to lose our information or securing our network from malicious attack. The first one here is access control. By regulating who can access network resources and what actions they can perform. This involves user authentication, authorization, and accountability. This can also be called least privilege, that is giving privilege for your employees to have access to a particular infrastructure in your organization. They may be given less privilege. Now we have admin privileges, we have user privileges, and we have employee privileges. So by doing this, the employee can only have access to a particular infrastructure, as well as the user, or should I say the consumer or the customer, can also have a particular privilege to a particular infrastructure. They do not have access to everything, thereby securing your network. Then we have firewalls. Implementing firewalls helps control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. Firewalls act as a barrier between a secure internal network and untrusted external network, that is the internet. You have various forms of firewall. We have the proxy firewall, we have packet filtering, and we also have stateful inspection firewall. But the best firewall to be used is the proxy, because the packet filtering, it filters incoming and outgoing network, and it makes use of particular parameters. We have the source, it checks the source IP address, the destination IP address of that network, and also the port number before allowing network to go in and out of the transmission. Then the stateful inspection, or I can call it stateful firewall. It is divided into three. We have the unicast, the multicast, and also the rule sets. The unicast is a single machine that is intended for a single recipient, that is a single final destination. And multicast, as the name implies, is for many recipients. And then the rule set is the rule that govern incoming and outgoing network. It blocks traffic on the network. Then we have the proxy. This proxy is usually used in external network. It secures the browser history from unauthorized access, and also protects from cookies too. Then we have encryption, transforming data into a secure format that can only be accessed by authorized parties. This ensures confidentiality of sensitive information, even if it's intercepted. We have various forms of encryption, but I think the most secure one to be used nowadays is the asymmetric. The symmetric only uses private key. Then asymmetric uses both public and private key for encryption and decryption, thereby ensuring a strong encryption method. Then the next one we have is the intrusion preventions, the use of intrusion prevention systems and intrusion detection system for securing your network. So monitoring network activities for malicious action or security policy violation. IPS actively blocks or prevents identified threats, while IDS alerts administrator to potential security incidents. So the most efficient here is the IPS. And why I say so is that sometimes in detecting abnormal activities on the network, sometimes the system might be wrong. And there are various forms of anomaly detection. We have the pattern matching, and we also have one other one. I'll probably remember ahead of the meeting. The we have pattern matching, and then the other one it's consists of various forms by observing the remote system, unused ports, making use of machine learning, processor utilization, and many more. This anomaly detection processes, it detects that if there's any abnormal activity going on your network, you can easily detect it. Remote system, that means, like, take for example, you have a system that has not been in use and then suddenly it's now being used. So that will like make your system detect that there's an intrusion on the network. And then we have the use of unused ports. You have a port that has been closed for a very long time and then suddenly it's open. The attackers can have access to that. But the IPS is more efficient because as it is detecting that intrusion, it is also preventing it from conducting attacks. Then we also have the virtual private network, that's the VPN. The VPN establishes secure communication channels over public networks, allowing users to access private networks securely. So by making use of VPN, you know that it is very hard for attackers to access your network because VPN is kind of, should I say, an encrypted form of network where the attacker cannot detect your particular IP address and he cannot detect your particular which particular location you're making use of that network. Then we have conducting security audits and monitoring, regularly assessing the network for vulnerabilities, weaknesses, and suspicious activities. Monitoring tools help detect and respond to security incidents in real time. So, by conducting security audits in your organization or company or infrastructure regularly, you'll be able to tackle malicious activity from occurring or sudden loss of information, because sometimes attackers will sneakily be hidden in your network and then suddenly you see that you might lose a vital information in your company. So by regularly assessing your network, that's where the penetration testers come in. They will be able to tackle any vulnerability found on your network, any weakness, and then remediate it. That is, by remediating it here, I mean by if there's probably an open port that attackers can have access to, they will close that port. And if there are no use of firewalls or encryption or an IPS detection um, application or device, then they will make apply those on your network. Then we have the use of security policies, establishing and enforcing rules and guidelines to ensure that network users and administrators follow best practices for security. This includes password policies, data handling procedures, and acceptable use policies. Then we have the backup and recovery. So creating backups of critical data and having a plan in place to recover data and system in the event of a security incident or natural disasters. There are various types of backups that one can use. We have the incremental, the differential, and I think full backup too. So anyone that you think is suitable for your company, you make use of that or your infrastructure to secure your network, and then always drafting a disaster recovery plan. They say, like they usually say, prevention is always better than cure. If you draft out a disaster recovery plan to in case of any disaster that occur, you can easily stand up again. Not by let's not say, okay, probably a disaster occurs in your company, and then by doing that you lose everything, you cannot get up again. No, drafting out a disaster recovery plan in your company will say, okay, in case I lose this particular information, or in case this attack is conducted in my system or in my network or in my device, i can be I can easily tackle that issue and then get back again up and running. Then creating security awareness training by educating network users about potential security risks such as social engineering attacks and best practices to mitigate threats. Human factors are significant consideration in overall network security. There's a popular network there's a popular cybersecurity phrase that we always hear: humans are the weakest link to attackers. So humans are very vulnerable to attacks. So by enlightening them, making them aware that attackers can make use of this, such as phishing links. Phishing links can be sent to your emails, and then teach them how a phishing link looks like and how to avoid those kind of messages, and telling them that, okay, me as your boss or me as the administrator of this company, I cannot send you this kind of message. By making them aware, they'll be able to know that it is an attacker that is sending them message or not. Or an attacker can easily call them and say, okay, hello, I'm from this, I'm from that. I want your this and that. So making them aware that, okay, I can never request for your passwords to the system without seeing you physically in the office or in the company. They will be well aware of that type of attack. And we have endpoint security, protecting individual devices, endpoints connected to networks such as computers, smartphones, servers from security threats. That's what we also, probably some of us here might have be browsing the net, or probably want to download an application, and then you see something towards the end that has end-to-end encryption. That is, it is encrypted at the beginning of transmission of message and also encrypted at the end of transmission of that message. So by encrypting it end to end, by enforcing end-to-end encryption on your devices, attackers will find it hard to steal information or conduct attack on your network. Network security is not a luxury but a necessity. So as we navigate the digital frontier, let's embrace a proactive approach, combining advanced technologies, user education, and a commitment to staying ahead of evolving threats. So thank you for your attention. Let's work together to safeguard the integrity and security of our digital world. So I have a funny joke here for we. Probably I'll have some French audience here. And for those that do not understand French, we also have this. So thank you. So please, if there's any question, I'm all ears, please. Thank you. Somebody say I can show my face. No, where I am right now is not I'm somewhere, so my network is not too strong, and then I looked for somewhere quiet, so the place is not too lightened. So no questions. I think my slides were quite explanatory, and I I kind of went deeper than my slide. I was trying to come back though because I don't want to go advanced. So if there is no question, I think that'll be all. Okay, thank you for having me. That'll be all for today. See you all next time.